Right, okay. So, good to see you all, and welcome to our new students. So we've got Camilla and Maggie, yep. And Carol, you started just before, didn't you?
Yeah.
Before the summer break. So the project this month is flowers and plants. For those of you that want to take part in that one. So the way we tend to run the classes is having like some sort of theme to each month, and then I usually tend to do some sort of quick demonstration at the beginning of the class. You're very welcome to do whatever you want to do, painting wise. You can go along with the theme if you want to, or if you want to go in another direction, you're very welcome to do that. I tend to demonstrate something or other at the beginning of each session, so it might be maybe I quite often start off the projects with a drawing demonstration, which is what I'll do today, and then another week I might do some sort of painting demonstration. So I was thinking next week I'll do some sort of watercolour probably, and then probably the week after that maybe do an oils one, and that'll do for this project. So we've got this. This is our venue. And it's quite nice, but it does get a bit cold as the winter comes on, and the light changes because we've put these heaters on it, and it all goes a little bit red. But other than that, it's quite a nice place to be, a nice environment. Through here, there are toilets through that way, and I make a drink halfway through, so we'll have like tea or coffee halfway through the session. So that's the logistics of it all. Yeah, the camera, what I do is I record these little demos, and then I just put them up on YouTube. So if you're not here at a particular session and you want to see what we've been doing or what I've been covering, you can have a look. And I tend to email a link out to the videos for that week. So if I've got your email, I put it on a list and it should go out. Usually it's a Sunday. So if you want to have another look at the demos, you're welcome to do that. Or if you missed the session and you want to see what we've been doing. So some students have a look at them. They're probably not brilliant videos. I don't edit them in any way whatsoever, and there's probably quite a lot of shots of the back of my head. But they're there if you want them. Okay, so yeah, flowers. So I've got a little bit of a drawing demo. So the one I've done, I'll show you the demo from the last couple of classes. So this was the Tuesday classes demo. I was going to show you some paintings too. So these are just to show you the examples of the sort of thing I do. I actually work in oils an awful lot. So over the summer we had a trip out on a boat out in the estuary. So this is painting the fords that are out in the estuary. So we had this lovely trip where we went out at 5 o'clock in the morning, just as the sun was coming up and the tide was, I think, going out or something. And then we went out to these, painted about an hour here, and then I had a look at the Mulberry Harbour from out in the estuary. So that was the next one. And then the end of the pier, we went back. So we had about an hour each. So that's the typical, the sort of thing I do. I tend to work with oils. I use a lot of these little boards because they're easy to carry around. That's the sort of thing I do. Yeah, so this one was that one. I'll just do a quick recap on this. So I mean, really, when I'm drawing something, I tend to just get a rough shaping to start with. So I basically started perhaps with the middle shape and then this shape. And then for these individual petals, sometimes I find just putting like a guideline through here. And I'll do this again in a minute with a different flower, and then get the shape. So that's roughly how I go about drawing a lot of the time. This was actually the demo I did this morning, and that was using this photograph. I'm just thinking if I was going to paint that, there's quite a lot there, so I probably would simplify it anyway, particularly if I was going to do a demo. So I was thinking perhaps just these three flowers in the middle, and this flower here, I was thinking perhaps to just move that out a little bit. It's a little bit too obscure. Might be nice if it's overlapped a little bit. So this is really what I call a compositional sketch. It's a way of just designing a format. And the way I would do these, so these are quite good to do. If you're thinking to do a painting, it's like a little bit of planning that you could do in your sketchbook, if you've got a sketchbook. So usually I start off just drawing a rectangle, and I'll draw the different sort of elements that I want within that, something like that. And the nice thing about drawing the rectangle is, like, I think it started about there and around there, and I decided to move it in a bit and move it up a bit. And you can arrive at the sort of shape that you want. And it's not in any great detail, but it gives me an idea where the darkest bits are, where the mid-tone bits would be, and where the lightest bits are. So it's a nice way of just designing your overall painting and just getting like a visualisation of how it might look. So they're always quite good things to do. So that's that. And I thought perhaps for a change, I'll have a go at drawing that one, which I think is that way up. Some sort of puppy. And in some ways a bit harder to draw. How would I draw that? I probably would start by thinking whereabouts in the middle would be. I can't see all of the middle, but some bits are obscured. But sometimes I find that if I was, so I'm just using pastel pencils to draw with, just really so you can see what I'm drawing. If you're using ordinary pencil, it will be just drawing very lightly, just kind of lightly, touching the paper. So that'd be something like that. Just kind of feeling my way around roughly where the shapes are going to be before I start to go in a bit more precisely. So just getting a little bit of a structure. What I'll do then is quite often I like to start in the middle of things and then work my way out. And I find that an easier way to draw, rather than, I think quite often we're quite inclined to try and draw the whole shape of the flower to start with, or the whole shape of a face it might be, the outside shapes. I've always find it easier and I can get a more accurate result if I concentrate on some of the smaller shapes in the middle and just work my way out. So I'll perhaps start with that little bit of the petal there, and I'll use red a bit more synthetic. Oops, that's broken. Maybe I won't use red. I'll go back to purple. Ah, no, that one too. Not with a pencil. Right, okay, so really it's kind of fairly slow, careful observation, just taking my time, so just getting that edge. Then perhaps I'll have a look at that edge, so coming backwards a little bit. Can you see as well? A little bit. It kind of comes down a bit, it goes up and then around, and comes over to here. But these guidelines just help me to just, these sort of lines if I can start with, just help to keep me in the right sort of area. And that tapers off to nothing. So sometimes you can see like a very definite edge and it carries on and then it will just sort of disappear. So I usually just let them go there. And then carrying on with the contour, just following up around here. So out there. And it's just really slow, careful observation. Follow that down there. I think to about there. And I'll come back and just pop this bit. So where this petal's turned on its edge, that starts to come out there. And again, that edge trails off there. This one here. That might just actually come back inside there, somewhere like that. And perhaps follow this one around. So that is starting about there. So just looking in relation to what I've drawn already, just trying to work out where I'll put that bit. It's just over the road from there. Curls around there. I can just about see an edge around here, which probably going to be difficult for you to see that at this distance. This edge is a lot clearer, which would be just under here. So I've got that one, which is a really strong, definite edge, which carries on to there, and then just really softens out to nothing around there. So you can see it's really, it's quite a challenge to see. I mean, some bits, like I say, that's really definite, but then some bits are so subtle that it's quite hard to see. So in a way, that's probably going to be a more challenging flower to draw than, so something like that, where you've got very definite petal shapes. But yeah, it's quite a nice challenge. Quite interesting, and obviously a lovely flower to draw. But basically, yeah, I would just really just kind of carry that on. Let's get that petal in. And then once you've got that petal established, perhaps it might be worth getting some of the centering now. These little bits in here. Something like those. And then once I've got all that, then see where this petal is in relation to what I've drawn here. So that is basically how I would go about that sort of drawing. Just kind of, you know, I'm usually quite careful, just take my time, try and see where things line up with each other, and seeing one bit in relation to the other. Basically start getting a rough idea and starting in the middle and working it out. So that might be useful, you know, if you're drawing flowers. Is that okay? Any questions? Yeah. Okay. Now I've actually got. If you want to bring things in, if you want to take part in this project and want to bring things in, very welcome to. Some of the students this morning did bring flowers in, which is quite nice. One lady had a bunch of sunflowers, which was nice. Some of these got mixed up. I've got quite a lot of photographs. So I've got a good collection of flower photographs, so if you want to choose any of these, you're very welcome to. You're welcome to hang on to them until you've finished, you know, whatever painting you're doing or drawing you're doing. They're here to be used. And yeah, one of my students who used to come to this class, she was a very good flower painter, so she's given me a lot of them, so there's quite nice photos here. Okay. Right, okay. So,
Thank you.
right, just stop this.